Daily Soccer Podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Newcastle Podcast. That new sting, by the way, catches me off guard every single time I play it because it's so Americanized. And I don't always expect it. Anyway, it's me, Nicola. I am your host. Welcome back. I have been on holiday for what feels like the last 15 days. And this is my first podcast back. And I am joined by my lovely co-host, Iain. How are you?
I'm good, Nicola. It's lovely to see you back safely from the other side of the pond. You international jet setter, you. You probably heard everybody saying soccer every 10 minutes
Soccer.
when you were over there. But yes, I have. I'm deliberately sitting in a place which has got the late sunlight coming through the blinds, so that I've got some
Me too.
really good cinematography shadows working with me today.
Me too. It's getting obviously. I know we're like only just on the first day of autumn, by the way, but it is getting darker down here a lot quicker now. So yeah, I've got the last of the sunlight coming through as well. So it is just me and Iain this evening recording. And we are going to discuss. Obviously, we've had Michael give his immediate post-match reaction to the Bournemouth game, which was on Sunday afternoon. But we haven't given our immediate reaction yet. So I thought
You haven't,
we'll.
no. I think my immediate reaction is to congratulate Michael on being able to talk for 23 minutes about a game which was there 23 minutes of action in that game? I'm not sure there was, but he did it.
I'm not
Fair
even
play to him.
sure there is 10 minutes worthy of action in that game, but we are going to try and
No,
make it work. We are going to
we will. We will.
try and make it work. Okay. Um, right. We are post Barcelona. We are post Bournemouth. Obviously, we had a tired team. So I've got to admit, I was expecting a little change from the Barcelona game, but I wasn't expecting 7 changes. So that starting lineup, I must admit, I was very confused when I seen it. I'm confused because I just didn't know who was going where and what was working and how he was sort of doing what he was doing. And by him, I mean Mr. Eddie Howe, obviously. How did you feel, obviously, when you seen the starting lineup? Because we had the additions of Mr. Willock, Lewis Miley, which I know you were very pleased with. Obviously, Lewis
I was.
Hall seems to be back to um, some sort of full fitness, so he started. How did you feel when you seen the starting lineup?
Well, did it explain some of the people that weren't picked to start against Barcelona, like Big Nick Voltamada, who we were all sure would have put one of those two chances away in the first half against Barcelona? But
Yep.
yeah, he was rested, so he did play nearly the whole game. I think Asula came on for the last 5 minutes for him. So I get what Eddie was doing there on his rotation. And this Bournemouth game, in the wider context of the season, the Bournemouth game is more important for us than the Barcelona game. I was surprised that we had 3 at the back.
Yep.
Not sure that Bournemouth aren't Barcelona. And we didn't need 3 at the back against Barcelona. So I know Shah dropped out. Botman and Chow came in, and I was pleased to see Chow get a start because he was excellent when he came on against Barcelona.
Yeah,
I
very
was
good.
pleased that Tino and Lewis Hall were at wing back because I wanted to see them bombing on.
Hmm.
Um, in the midfield, I was pleased that Lewis Miley was getting a start alongside Tonali. Surprised, though, that both Bruno and Joe Linton were rested for Willock to come in because Willock's a little bit of I don't know. He didn't enhance his squad player value for me in
No.
the way that he played either. I don't think he did very much at all. And he was our best player for a season or two back in the Stevie Bruce days, and he just looks so far off it now. It's sad, really.
Yeah.
Um, and then we played. What did we play? Voltamada up front with Jacob Murphy,
Jacob Murphy. Yeah.
which was
It
a
was kind of
little
like
bit
a
odd.
3-4-2-1 formation. Um, yeah. But what I will say is Joe Willock, I'm not going to really spend too much time on. He's a player that I feel really sorry for, like you say, because I feel like he was one of our best players for maybe 1 or 2 seasons. And then as we've upgraded our squad in other areas, I feel like he's just fell behind a little bit and maybe just isn't of the quality as the rest of our team is now. Which is a kind of a fortunate position for us to be in, that we've got such great quality elsewhere. But yeah,
Mm.
he is struggling a little bit, isn't he?
I think he's got a little bit of time because he has had some nasty injuries that
Yeah,
have
I
knocked
agree.
him back. So perhaps he's not had the clear run
Mm,
that would show the sort of improvement that, for example, Murphy has shown.
yeah,
Um, so, yeah, but I think he's running out of time to show that he is having that effect because he was around for quite a lot after Christmas last year. And he's been around all of this season. So, he should be back to his best, and he just wasn't. He's just not a
yeah.
threat at all.
No, I agree.
So I was surprised that I thought it was quite a defensive lineup. I know Eddie is building this season, obviously, on being hard to score against,
Yeah,
because I think no team has conceded as few shots on target as Newcastle this season. And in fact, what we can say is that unless you're Liverpool or Barcelona, you can't even score against us, which is
true.
interesting. But yeah, I think it was a bit cautious. Maybe it wouldn't have been if they had played in a way that they were asked to play, but it just seemed a little bit. Lewis Hall wasn't his vibrant best
No, I
first
agree.
start since the Carabao Cup final or the game before that. Um, yeah, but the defense was good, and everybody going forward seemed as if they had their handbrake on. Was my
Do you
assessment
think?
of it.
Yeah, mine too. I'm struggling to comment too much on the game because I feel really bad saying this. There wasn't really much to take from it. I feel like it was just a battle of two sides that were not as poor as each other, but was just didn't overall play that
There was
well.
a our big defense cancelled out Bournemouth, and Bournemouth want to play on transition, and yet we're lining up with a five-man defence.
Mm,
They didn't have a lot of opportunity to get in behind us, which they killed us with at St James's Park. Pressed us in the middle, turned the ball over, ran up and scored 4 times. So it was a nasty banana skin of a game for us because Bournemouth were fourth.
hmm
Still, it's only
Still,
Liverpool that's beaten Bournemouth this year. So it was a tough game, but I don't think with those two teams you would have expected quite such a dull
dull.
spectacle. That's what
No,
was surprising.
yeah,
But again, it's same story as against Villa, same story as against Leeds. I'm echoing what Michael said. We just didn't seem to have much of a cutting edge. Although, as Michael pointed out, had the stone wall penalty been given when Voltemada had his shirt ripped off his back,
mm,
and we'd scored a penalty and we'd come away having won 1-0, we'd
hmm
say what a fabulous away performance that was to have rested Bruno and Joe Linton and come back with the 3 points, which is what should have happened.
I agree.
But, the same way, what should have happened is that Chow should have got sent off and they could have battered us for the last 10 minutes with 10 men.
Yeah,
But as it was, neither of those things happened, and we have to settle for a point.
we do. And also, let's just point out, Bournemouth has notoriously been a really, well, what's the word called? Like a bogey team for us to go to or play against in the past. So I think coming away with a point isn't, in hindsight, that bad. Um,
No, I like it.
but we just
I
need to
like the
start
point.
scoring some goals.
We
Is the
probably would have
problem?
loved the game if we'd drawn 3-3 and had been all out attack. We would have said what a fabulous performance that was.
Exactly.
But we've just ground out a goalless draw very, very safely. Pope made one save with his feet, but he just sort of side-footed it away. I don't think it was too hard for him
No.
from Tyler Adams in the first half, and then he did make a really good save from a Clivett. I think it was Clivett took the free kick right at the end,
Yeah.
pushed it away to safety. But other than that, Dan Burn, it's like having a big wall in the box. He just heads everything away. And
Mm.
Botman was, I thought, very cool. Not sure Chow was as good as he was against Barcelona. Looked a little bit clumsy. I mean, certainly looked clumsy when he was body checking that fella running through on us. Um, Tino was good. Lewis Hall showed flashes. I'm so pleased he's back. Now he's
Me
had a
too.
game under his belt. He'll be so much better. Um, Do you know what really annoys me though? I think Lewis Smiley is an absolute talent. He's in the England under 21 side and he's only 19. That
He's young.
should give him the confidence to be playing the way that, with the sort of confidence that, I don't know, um, all the other precocious 19-year-olds do, where
Mm?
they don't seem to have any fear,
Yeah.
and yet he's he's good. He's solid. He keeps the ball really well, but he doesn't try any incisive passes. It's too much of it is sideways or backwards, and I just wish he'd have the confidence to take it on a little bit. Because I mean, Tonali needed that. He needed someone to do that Bruno role alongside him. Um,
The
so
problem is,
he's started to frustrate me a little bit.
yeah, also, I think one of us said it in the chat yesterday. Whilst I understand why players like Bruno and Big Joe need rested. I mean, I don't know if you caught the end of the game, like when the game full time whistle had gone. Bruno was actually walking on the pitch, looked like he was limping a little bit. I don't know if he maybe just still quite sore from the Barcelona game. So I understand these
Right.
players need protected, and rotation is obviously important. We've banged on about that enough in our previous podcasts, but you really can notice the difference when you take the likes of Bruno and Joey Linton and rotate them with Mr. Willock and Lewis Miley. The quality
Yeah.
is just completely not the same, is it? And yeah, I felt a bit frustrated watching because I really like Lewis Miley. Again, he's so young, but he's so full of talent and has so much potential, particularly with the players that he's playing with, and obviously under Eddie Howe, can do so much with him. But I was getting a little bit frustrated yesterday. Just going off the back of what you were saying, I just thought, why isn't he making these passes, all these challenges? And it was just a little bit frustrating to watch at times. Maybe that's a bit of a confidence issue with him though, because again, he is only
Well,
19.
I am hoping that he turns into an Elliot Anderson rather than a Sean Longstaff, um, because he certainly looked like he was going to be better than Elliot Anderson
Mm,
2 years ago. But now he's playing a little bit like Sean Longstaff,
Sean
and I
Longstaff.
don't know why that is. You
Yeah,
should give him the confidence to have a go with it. Maybe we'll see that against Bradford in the Cup on Wednesday, because if Miley can take control of that midfield and boss the game in a way he did when we played against Bromley and he scored a fabulous goal,
mm,
that's the sort of confidence I want him to attempt in the Premier League instead of playing it so safe.
safe.
And I think
Yeah,
that's not meant to be a criticism. I don't want him to be reckless.
no,
I mean, he was the one who gave the ball away when the bloke went running through that Chow body checked at the end. So I don't want him to give the ball away, but let's have a little bit more ambition. And
ambition. Yeah,
up front, we just Willock was poor
poor.
on the
Yeah,
left.
poor.
Murphy was okay, and then when Alanga and Barnes came on, I don't know. There's no end.
Something's missing.
Alanga's got nobody to cross the ball to. We saw it against Barcelona, and it was the same again. And Barnes isn't far behind Willock in terms of repeatedly disappointing me.
Yeah,
Um, it's a shame Wissa got injured and a shame Ramsey got injured because those two would have made a big difference as well.
big difference. Yeah,
Anyway, that's
I
just a
agree.
moan, isn't it?
It is
Good
a little
point
bit,
away from
but
home.
needs to be. It's a good point away from home. But we do need to start getting some wins. We're going to break. We'll do the first advert, well, the only advert of today's pod, and then we'll just go into a few little more points from the game, i.e., the Stonewall penalty. And I seen a point put on Twitter yesterday of what is it that Newcastle are currently missing because something's not quite right. So let me break for the first ad, and then we'll discuss that.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements, designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN 2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Lovely. Okay, let's talk very briefly about the penalty that was a Stonewall penalty but wasn't given because we're Newcastle United and it's not that easy, is it? Um,
Mm.
so there was a shirt pull a sustained sort of holding back of Nick. He got dragged back, and he had a sort of a sustained holding. Clear shirt pull, and no penalty was given to him. Well, to us, sorry, or for him. Why? Why? What? I don't understand the rules.
I've no
Because
idea.
I feel like if the ref had blown for that and given it, it wouldn't have been overturned.
I think you're right. And I think that he's missed it because of where he was standing.
Mm.
Because Voltemada has got his back to the goal, so the ref's looking at Voltemada. The guy pulling his shirt's behind him. But that's what VAR is for. That is
So
what VAR is for. And when you look at some of the, where was it? Give a handball for Tonali right on the edge of the box in the first half, which if he'd been standing a foot further back would have been given as a penalty. Come on.
Mhm.
I mean, I know it's a handball, it's not a shirt pull, but shirt pull, but they get booked for that in the middle of the pitch.
Yep.
It's a bad foul when it's sustained. I know they could have let a little bit of mutual grappling go because it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. But Voltemada was trying to control that ball and do a turn, which
Mhm.
he's famous for,
Yep.
and he just got pulled. Maybe he crumpled to the ground and it looked a bit over dramatic, and the referee just played on. But I don't know. I thought when you see the replay, um, it's a penalty. I don't think anyone could have had any complaints on the Bournemouth side if it had been given. But I
No.
don't know. There's the short answer. Just
Yeah.
VAR. I've not heard
Being
anything
VAR.
today about whether they're apologising for getting something wrong, which they apologised to Bournemouth last year when they got a decision wrong, which would have meant that we'd have lost that.
Mm.
So I don't know. It's just weird. Just part of football now, isn't it?
It is, but it's things like that that can make the difference between winning a game and not. Now I know we
Absolutely.
shouldn't rely on it, obviously, but it's coming to a point now where you think how many points, like, and I'm not just talking about Newcastle, I'm talking about the overall Premier League teams. How many points have probably been lost from really poor VAR decisions? Because, like you say, anywhere else on the pitch that would have been a booking, but not there. So a bit weird. But so that was the first thing. The next thing that I'd seen popped on social media is, well, not put on social media, it's just, as always, Newcastle fans losing the absolute will to live. The normal, we've won 1 in 7 games. We're an attacking team. Why are we not setting up like that? Which I must admit, yesterday we did not set up like an attacking team. We were very, very, very defensive. Very
Yeah.
defensive setup, which, we've got a reason for that, so that's fine. One of the questions that was posed onto social media was Newcastle was missing something. What is it? Now, obviously, a lot of the replies were from a load of Liverpool fans saying a certain striker is missing. That's why you're not scoring goals, which I just think is wrong. What is it that Newcastle are currently missing that it just obviously isn't clicking as to us scoring goals? I don't think it's for a certain striker at all. I think it's just a case of, is it a case of we've got new bodies in the team, we're all still learning how to play together? When we make changes like we did yesterday, 7 changes, it's quite a lot, from a starting lineup. What is it that we are missing? Or is it just a simple case of we're in a bit of a lull? We've started the Premier League in a bit of a lull state? Because I can't put my finger on it.
Well, I was at the Wolves game
Mm.
unexpectedly last week, and we didn't create loads of chances um, either then. So it's a it's a tough one. We certainly are missing a striker, not a certain striker, a
Yes,
striker.
agree.
If Voltemada could play his number 10 role, which he wants to
Mhm.
do, and Wissa in front of him,
Mhm.
and I think we've won nearly every game we've played if we've got Wissa playing for us.
Agreed. Yeah.
Certainly, certainly goals against Barcelona. We might have been 2 up at half time. And that gives a focal point to, because psychologically on transition we're breaking forward really fast. But
Mm.
those guys thinking, shit, I've got to do it all myself because there's nobody up front, there's nobody in the middle.
Yeah.
Whereas last year, Isaac would have been there, but
Mm.
he would have dropped short to get the ball and turn and played them in.
Mhm.
But they know that there's not anybody there.
Mm.
Um, And I don't know if that's what it is, that psychologically there's a break on when they're doing their fast transitions and they feel they've got to keep the ball and control it and bring it, approach them from the front, if you like, which obviously gives them a chance to go back and reorganize themselves.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be different when they've trained together for a month instead of a
Yeah. A couple of weeks.
fortnight. And they need somebody with a striker's instinct playing number 9. It isn't Voltemada, I don't think. I think he tries to do that, and he made some great movement to score his goal against Wolves. But I think he can see what he wants to do, which is pivot the attack with his back to the goal, and then choose the little layoff, the little ball to slip in other people. And he's done that a few times, and he looks good at doing that.
Yeah.
We need somebody running through,
Mm.
or Wisser already there.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
We're not creating chances either. That's the thing.
we're not. Also, another thing I seen yesterday was we hired not we personally, as in Newcastle United, they hired a set piece team coach thing last year.
Yeah.
How's that working out then? Because we seem to be worse off. What's he doing?
Well, I think he's just been coaching Tino into how to try and do a long throw that's not quite as good as everybody else's long throw.
Yeah,
Um, but that's a good job if you could get it, isn't it?
yeah. Honestly, that's
Just throw
because
it a bit harder, Tino. We've got
it's
all the tall men. Just hopefully one of them will get their head onto it eventually, but somehow Byrne, Voltemada, and Botman waiting on the near post, they still can't get a flick on from it.
I know we must have the
Um,
tallest players in history. Well, not in history,
yeah,
but
and
I mean,
how
come on.
how we are not how we're not getting a header every other corner
No,
on
I know.
target. I don't know.
Our
I
corners
don't
are
know.
frustrating to watch.
But
Anyway,
we're
that's above
starting
our
we're
pay grade.
starting to we're starting to moan here, Nicola. We shouldn't be
I know.
moaning.
No,
You
I'm
know,
not moaning. I'm
we've
just
we've only lost rather unfairly to Liverpool and Barcelona,
Barcelona.
and
Yeah.
nobody else has beaten us, which
No,
is which is a good solid sign.
no, yeah, absolutely. And I said I was happy with the point from Bournemouth because notoriously we struggle. Um, so yeah, no, not moaning. Was just having a social media scroll this
Okay.
morning when went after the game. Um, right, Bournemouth aside, that game's done. We've come away with a clean sheet and a point, which we've established we're happy with. Right, the next month of games. Ready? Ready? They look like Carabao Cup. We've got Bradford at home on Wednesday. So by the time people listen to this, tomorrow. Then we've got Arsenal at home on the 28th of September. Then the following Wednesday, USG in the Champions League. And we've got Forest at home, which I believe is the weekend after, and then Brighton away, and then Benfica in the Champions League. They are our next 6 fixtures up until the 21st of October. How are we feeling?
Well, I'm still feeling bullish about it because I don't think that we can be so impotent in front of goal game after game after game. We created chances against Barcelona. We just didn't take them.
Agreed.
This game against Bournemouth, 7 changes. First starts for Lewis Hall, for Lewis Miley, for Joe Willock. Probably first start for Malik Chow and Sven Botman. I mean, that was a big changeover
Big
team.
change. Mm.
So I think when we've got Anthony Gordon and Bruno and Joe Linton coming back to play a big game against Arsenal,
Mm-hmm.
that we're not expecting to get 12 shots on that. I
No, agreed.
think that I think we reproduced last year's 1-0. Would be delighted. I don't know about Union Saint-Gilloise from Belgium, USG as we've called them. Just 3 or 4 on from PSG, because they had a really good result. They won at PSV 3-0,
They
3-1.
did.
So and they're our fellow pot 4 team, so we've got to win that to
Mm-hmm.
to. But yeah, we're still going to be struggling, aren't we, with Anthony Gordon? Hopefully, is going to
When's
be
he back?
scoring another Champions League goal.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, what looked like an awful run of fixtures actually is turning out to be not as scary as it was, because
Agreed.
Forest have now got Ange in charge,
Oh God,
and
big Ange at the wheel.
they look dreadful. So I'm not terrified about playing Forest at home. Similarly with Brighton are a good team. I don't think they're up to much away from home. I think they're a bit in and out, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah.
Um, and then Benfica, that'll be hilarious. That's Jose Mourinho comes back to
Cannot believe.
Sir Bobby's house.
Oh no.
Can you believe he was on there? But yeah, Benfica were beaten by Karabag at home after being 2 up. Then the Kazakhstanis or wherever Karabag are from, I don't know, somewhere over in Eastern Europe,
Hmm.
came from 2-0 down to beat Benfica at home 3-2. So they can't be up to much, can they? Come on.
I don't think
It's
so.
another home win. They're
I
all
don't think.
1-0 wins. The thing is,
Yeah.
nobody's going to score against us.
No, definitely not. I'm actually really. I can't make this game, but I'm actually really looking forward to the Arsenal game. We seem to have really good fixtures against them, and we're at home for this one as well. So, um, yeah, I agree with you. What looked to be a bit of an intimidating set of fixtures when we first looked, doesn't really seem to be that intimidating now. Um,
5 straight losses. That's what that is. Then,
don't say
well
that.
done, Nicola. You've done it.
Oh, I have done it, haven't I? You're going to the Bradford game on Wednesday, though, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I
Yeah,
am.
good Carabao Cup.
Amazingly,
Is this our first?
yes.
Is this our first Carabao Cup fixture? It is, isn't it?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
started a round later this year because we're in Europe.
because we won it as well. Because we won it. Right, that is all I wanted to cover today. Do you have anything else you'd like to cover?
Oh, I think that's good. I think we're. I'm on with the boys tomorrow. I think to preview the Bradford game.
Bradford game. You
Our
are
team selection guesses will be
interesting.
mental on that, because I don't think Bruno and Jolinton were rested against Bournemouth so they could come back against Bradford. I think
Bradford.
they are
I agree.
recovering from their exertions to play
Against
against
Barcelona.
Arsenal. So
Agree.
there'll be another sort of mix and match midfield. Be nice to see Voltemada picked to play as a number 10, I think,
Mm,
and
yeah,
get a Sula up front from him. That would be interesting.
we shall see.
But we'll have to talk about it tomorrow.
We shall see. Yeah, like Iain said, he is on with Michael and Kev tomorrow evening recording the Bradford preview, which will be out on Wednesday before, obviously, we host at St James Park. Yeah, that's all we've got time for today. So you have been listening to the Daily Newcastle podcast. Make sure you leave your comments and thoughts. And as always, we will speak to you all soon.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.